So today was a very landmark and important day. What inspired it? What was the idea behind today's interaction and meet and greet?
Yeah, look, it's about the history of Daybreak, basically. Um, Daybreak has had several challenges, of course. It had the good story to tell and the bad story to tell. And I think we've reached a point where we want to now tell a good story of Daybreak with all the challenges that we had. Because the reality is that people out there don't know what's actually transpiring within the company as Daybreak. And therefore, we felt as Daybreak to say that should be actually one of our strategic plan in this year to say we need to bring Daybreak out there for people to understand that Daybreak is actually a good company and it has got potential and it has got wings to fly. And for that reason, we decided to say we should call all the workforce from the board level to the management level, union level, employees to say we should come together as a get together to understand who's who within the company because you cannot actually deal with someone that you don't know. And for that reason, that is exactly what inspired us to say we should get together to know each other going forward. Yeah.
And would you say today has been a success?
It was indeed, certainly, it was a success today because all 90% of the invitees did pitch up, did come, one. Secondly, as much as it was a meet and greet, most of the team actually started to realize the shape that Daybreak is taking going forward, and they start to understand the who is who within Daybreak. Because you cannot, I always give an example of soccer team. You can't play in a soccer team if you don't know what's the soccer plan, you know? And I think it was key of us as a team to get together, understand each other, have a directive to say, where is Daybreak going? And yeah, indeed, it was a success today, yeah.
And a great move in bringing in the mayor. What inspired that?
Okay, look, what is happening in the past, it was never documented of. Hence, I just came to Daybreak. I started acting, we'll talk about it. I started acting in November. And within my sitting, I realized that Daybreak is actually engaging with different political organizations, stakeholders. I said, it can't happen like that. You can't find an entity that's directing itself to an individual or to an organization. We need to find a central base, which is the mayor's office. And that's when I started engaging the mayor to say when we do whatever plan in line with corporate, in line with community development, etc., we should go through the mayor because the mayor now knows all the stakeholders within the area and it will be smoother and easier, yeah.
And how have you managed to keep spirits up and indeed productivity up during some of the challenges you've had, as you mentioned earlier, with publicity and challenges?
Okay. Yeah, remember, I'm actually an employee of Daybreak pre my appointment as the acting CEO. I was appointed as the head of division for breeders and hatcheries, which is one division within Daybreak. And I understood the culture within Daybreak. And for that reason, I think I had a leeway or I understood what needs to be done. So when I was appointed as the acting CEO, because I understood what's needed in this instance, of course, it was easy for me to maneuver around because I know how my staff is feeling about everything. For that reason, I'm part of the collective. I share their sentiments. And it was easy for me to understand what are the challenges and how to deal with them. Yeah.
And external challenges, like you mentioned COVID, there's economic challenges, the war in Ukraine.
Yeah.
How do you stay ahead of that and keep on?
Look, I mean, when you are in a production sector, like in poultry, obviously we deal with production, live animals. And unfortunately, those challenges will keep hitting you as and when you go. But it's very key of you to have a contingency plan in all the challenges that you get. If you look at as you say, the Ukraine-Russia war is putting a serious hit on us in terms of cost of commodity. It's extremely high. I think it has increased by 10 to 15% at present, and now it's escalating to 2025, which is hitting us very hard. If you look at your COVID, it was challenging us in terms of accessing some material. There's quite a lot of things really that impact on us. But because of, I think, as Daybreak, we understand how to manage, we understand how to champion things, it is easier of us because one way or the other, we need to make that cost up somewhere. And of course, we need to keep our staff on high spirit, really, to say, I mean, despite the COVID, despite several challenges that we have, definitely we will make it through the other side. Yeah.
Can you take me through some of the positives in terms of finances, diversity, production? I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not to go deeper on our book balance. Daybreak book balance, in short, it's healthy. That's the first thing I'll mention, not to go deeper on it. Secondly, I came to Daybreak 2019. The performance was good, but not to its maximum. And I think in the previous 2 to 3 years, Daybreak is now able to compete with the biggest companies in the country in terms of efficiencies. In poultry there are terms, your hatchabilities, etc. I don't think one will understand that. But Daybreak now has set the par, because if you look at Daybreak since 2019 to date, it has improved at least on efficiencies about 2.5 to 3%, and it has increased. There's something called chick per hen house, which actually leads to the revenue that you make out of that chicken. We have definitely increased. So the short and the fall is that Daybreak, in terms of production and efficiencies, where we sit now, is doing far much more better than in the past. Definitely so. Definitely.
And going forward, what is the vision and strategy for the future? Maybe speak on innovation, perhaps. What are the plans ahead?
Okay. Obviously, I always say when you're in a marathon, you need to just tie up your shoes so that when the lion comes, you're the first one to take off and you don't get stuck on the road. What am I trying to say? As Daybreak, of course, objective one is to grow. But however, we have decided in this tenor to say, in terms of growth, we want to hold back a bit because we've got our 5-year plan, which is up to 2026. And we have decided to say at present, presently we are going to look on efficiencies, we are going to look at value, and we're going to look at price, and we'll also look at building the brand of Daybreak, and we're also going to look at company compliance as we speak. With the next current financial year, that's where as Daybreak we're definitely going to grow. Yeah.
And finally, any word for management, stakeholders, and employees? Any message? Any well wishes?
Yeah. Look, firstly, it's a workers' month. Before we even go further, I want to say it's a workers' month. I wish all the workers a happy workers' month to start with. And secondly, I want to tell them that everything has got the beginning. I think we are reviving Daybreak, and I'm very adamant that we'll come out victorious as a company. I'm saying to many other companies out there that are very close to us in terms of production that we are coming out strongly. In many years to come, if they are not careful, definitely we're going to buy them out. We are not pulling back. We are not looking back in any way. Definitely we are moving forward. And as management, from management side, I just want to appreciate the employees for the hard work that they've instilled, they've put within Daybreak. And looking forward, I just see great heights further down. Yeah.
Thank you. Anything you want?
Thank you so much.